Hey there and welcome back to the channel. Today we're still going through the Blackheath High School past paper. So let's get straight into it and go through the rest of these questions. Okay, so here we have a coordinates question. So let's try and dig into this right now. Point A has the coordinates 2, 1, and we can see that 2 across, 1 up. That's point A. What are the coordinates of B and C? So let's think about and remember how coordinates work. When we have these coordinates, X and Y, for example, it's telling us how far to the right and up we're going. So it's X to the right and then Y up. And if it's negative, it reverses. So left and then down. So now let's go to our question and find the coordinates of B and C. Well, for B, we're not going any across, but we're going 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So 0 across, 4 up. For C, we're going 1, 2 across, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So 2 across, 4 up. That's how we think, to the right and up. Now, on the graph above, mark the points L and M. So 6, 1, 6, 5. We should be confident doing this. 6, 1 means 6 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 up. So right here. And then 5 will be the same across, but 5 up. 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. So that's L. Let's put L here. And this is M. Awesome. Okay. Now mark a third point N so that the 3 points L, M, N join up to make an isosceles triangle. So we need to know what an isosceles triangle is. An isosceles triangle is a triangle where two sides are of equal length. And because we have two sides of equal length, that also means we have two angles of equal size or two angles of equal value. But for this question, the main thing we need to understand is an isosceles triangle means we have two sides of equal length. So different from an equilateral where every side is equal, different from scalene, different from right angled, isosceles. So to work this out, we can simply make this triangle such that two sides are of equal length. So here, the difference between L and M is 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we go halfway, and then we go up across this plane, then we should get a scenario where this coordinate to our joining point and then this coordinate to our joining point creates these two sides of equal length. So let's see if we can do that. So go to the middle here and let's pick any point here. So let's pick a point here. We know that this length, and I'll put it in black, we know that this length should be equal to this length because we went halfway between M and L. And if we join it up, here is our isosceles triangle where the two black lines are equal and this line is different. So for this, our answer for N could be 5 to the right, and then 3 up. So 5, 3. But really, any of these coordinates would have worked the exact same. Apart from this one, of course, because this wouldn't make a triangle. So we have 5, 3, but N could be anything. So N could be x3, where x is bigger or equal to 0, but smaller than 6. So here, x is bigger than or equal to 0, but x is smaller than 6. And you wouldn't have to write this in the answer, but on this channel, we're going above and beyond, right? We want those top marks in the grammar school exams. We want those scholarships in the independent school exams. So this is for our own understanding, so we really understand what's going on. Any one of these points could have worked, and mathematically we can show that by saying n equals x across 3 up. And this works for any value of x where x is greater than or equal to 0. So all these ones, but less than 6. It can't be 6 right here. So if we clean this up, this is our answer. 5,3 or x3, where x is this. Okay, so here for this question, we have a shaded rectangle with an area of 12 centimeters squared. And we have to draw a different rectangle also with an area of 12 centimeters squared. And we're told rotations are not allowed. So how do we think about this? Well, first of all, we know this rectangle up here has an area of 12 centimeters squared because we have a width of 3 and a length of 4. And 4 times 3 equals 12, right? So by the question saying, or the examiner saying that rotations aren't allowed, it means we can't just flip this rectangle around and do this. Where we have a length of 3 and a width of 4. We can't do that. We have to think about it differently. And all we have to do really is think about different ways to make up 12. Yes, 12 is 4 times 3, but 12 is also 2 times 6. So actually we can draw a rectangle that's 2 by 6. So 1, 2 across, and then 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. So here. And then we go across by 2, and we go down. So that is our badly drawn rectangle, still with an area of 12 centimeters squared, but this time it's 2 by 6. And then we have on this grid, draw a triangle with area of 6 centimeters squared. Well, how do we do this? Well, we know the area for a triangle is length times width divided by 2. And we want this area to equal 6. So we can rearrange this equation by multiplying both sides by 2. That cancels out this here and leaves us with the length times width equals 12, because 6 times 2 is 12. So we know all we have to do is draw a triangle that has a width or a base, same thing, base length times base, or base times height, same thing really. And the main point here is that those two numbers need to multiply to give us 12. So we can do that. We can have many combinations, but one answer could be a base of 3, 1, 2, 3, and a height of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to have this triangle right here. This triangle will have an area of 6 centimeters squared. Or we can make it even a triangle like this. Doesn't really matter. As long as we understand what's going on, we know that it's going to have an area of 6 centimeters squared. Because here, base is 3, height is 4, length times width, or base times height divided by 2 gives us 6. And this also draws upon our understanding that every single triangle is simply half of a rectangle. Because here we have the full rectangle, which would be here, which has an area of 12 centimeters squared. But then we half it for the triangle, giving us 6 centimeters squared. These bits of understanding really help us in our exams. Okay, so let's go through this question. We see the 4 cards that Polly has. So let's try and arrange them to get the largest possible number. So to do this, we need to start with the biggest number out of all the cards we have, which is going to be the 9. Because 9,000 is going to be bigger than 4,000 or 3,000 or 1,000. So 9,000, then we put the next biggest number, 431. We want the biggest numbers on the left, because that will create the largest possible numbers. Smallest, we want the opposite. We want 1,000. We want 349. The number nearest to 4,000, well, it's either, let's think about this. We're either going to have a number starting with 3 and then 9 and then 41 to try and get, if we have 4,000 here, we can try and approach it from the bottom, or we can try and approach it from the top and start with a number that begins with 4 and then minimize everything else. So 4139. Now we've got to think about what's the difference when we use both methods. Well, for this bottom method, bottom up, the difference is only going to be 59. We only add on 59 to get to 4,000. But for 4139, we have to take away 139, which is way more, which means the nearest number is going to be this one. This number is the winner, 3941, going from the bottom up. And now for part D, we're told that Nithana gives her a card with a decimal point on. So we have a decimal point now. How can Polly arrange her 5 cards now to get the number nearest to 50? So let's think about this. We have 50. To get close to 50, out of the numbers and cards we have, we're going to want to start with 49. But then we can use our decimal point, because right now we're a whole 1 away from 50. But we can get closer to 50 by using our decimal point and then inching a bit closer by using the 3 and the 1. Because now we're not a whole 1 away from 50, we're only 0.69 away from 50. We can add 0.69 to go from 49.31 to 50.00. So here, that's how we want to arrange our 5 cards. Get the 49, then put the decimal point to get even closer, and then get as close as possible with 0.31. Okay, so that is all for today. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you're the first to know when the next video is released. And on that note, I will see you all next time.